Look at the mix-up, my friends. Look at the mix-up. Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm trying to figure out the center of roulette is 111. It equals 3 by 37. But there is no 37 on roulette. The Twin Towers touched 45 on the angle of every angle in vision. That makes a total of 360 degrees. Because there's no 37, you're in the area of 00. And on the roulette, those are eggs. You're in the way of spirit. So somebody knew that these Twin Towers had to go down. Somebody knew this. Somebody was made thinking, getting the vibration maybe from God to build them, but they built them wrong. They were supposed to stop where they are now. Right now, wherever they are in the Twin Tower buildings, they shouldn't be any higher. And if they're higher than before, then they're way too high. You see, I didn't see the numbers, but I know they have to be below 74 floors. They know they can go as high as 76, 78, but once you get to 81, you've completed a square all the way down. When there's squares all the way down, there's no way to have stability in this world unless you've went down into the ground and built 100 stories down the same way. The buildings were in somebody's way. The system matrix somehow made a mistake between the two, and they had to take them down because they made a wrong move in chess. And their man was taken down, and they knew ahead of time that they had made the wrong move. They knew it was going down. So they did everything they could to get involved to make sure it goes down, because they're on Earth for that. If you're going to get the information, you got to use it. So they had to take it down, whoever they were, good or bad. I'd like to know if they had metal with copper around it inside that cement right now. What they're doing right now, I want to know if there's any nickel, copper inside the metal that's in the beams, okay, inside the cement. The cement, okay, has little rods in it, not much bigger than this, okay, and if they have nickel and copper, of course it's going to pull in energy from the sky, because it's in the sky angle. It's in the wrong way. If you go up one more time the way that is, you touch the first square. 222 stories, the first square. Make a square of that, and that's the square of how it works. Each square will have its own energy cell, and it branches out all the time, in and out, in and out. Guys on Facebook have it all over the place. Everybody sees what's going on. They know what's going on. See, I just learned all about this. The other thing I want to show is the grid. 2, 12, 22, and 32. No one, here's a 1 with a 0, but 1 does not exist, because the 1 is right here. 1, 1, 1, 1. In order to make 1, it takes 3 squares to make a 1. 3 squares, 3 squares, 3 squares, and you made a 1. You made your 11, 11. Now you can box it in. Square. 1, 2, 3 marks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and box it in. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and stop. 21, 22, 20, hold on a second. I should have had 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 7th inning stretch. 24, X-Man. 9 innings played, maybe go into the 10th. Everybody's coming up to bat, otherwise it's rained out. You understand what I'm saying? It's rained out, or everybody's coming up to bat. Then you got 12, the 2 dice. 1 dice moves over here. 12, 13, 14. 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. First in every single row. 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 20, 8, 9, 0, 8, 9, 30, 8, 9, 32. What the hell happened here? The minute you get to 36, you now start counting down. That's the peak of your building. 36, 36, 72, that's it. 9 by 8, no more. And then you can square up all around that 6 or 8 times if I remember. What I wanted to talk about here was there was on Alfred the Third, which is 111, which is 16 times 1776. But they just talked on the radio that we're in a 13-day cycle of Halloween, but only a 12-day cycle of Christmas, because a 13-day cycle would talk about Jack. Jack and his story, 13. There's Jack, just the way he is, spirit, angel, and man on this earth. And then he's with his story. His story is 2. I forgot. You are 9, then you are 11, and then you have your story. The story is 13, and it's all about 14 and 15. Why is it all about 14 and 15? The N and O letter, because it's Omega and the cross. The N letter is the cross of Christ. It's the story on the cross, and that's why it's N-O. So here I wrote down Babylon continued history, blood decryption from the vampires of Halloween, because it's a blood description of a blood decryption. When they drink your blood, they get information from you. Information in their world, okay, as zombies or Zen men. Zen men are actually, they're like you and me, but instead of sex, they need blood because it's information. It goes to the matrix and they get fed with different kinds of vibrations. That's why they want the blood. They don't need the heart to live because they're not living on that anymore. They're living on electricity. They need the blood. Too much electricity, and all of a sudden you dried out your whole body. So they consistently need the blood, and they can't see the light. The knowledge of the power of the vacuum cleaner and the vampire maverick. Anyways, I was looking at something today, and it said 13 back ton. Back means to backhoe, means to refill. It also means a weight of 2.20462, which is life of 04 of 62, the Queen's World, 13 back ton. Out of 144,000 back ton, which is who you are as a 1010, 100, inside a day, which has 1,440 minutes, which makes 144,000 back ton, which means you have one kin. You have one story from yesterday. It's your friend. It's your memory. He doesn't exist, but inside your mind, it's completely yesterday, and it completely exists. You can see yourself yesterday. If you videotaped everything you would say, it's your kin. One who was you, but is no longer you because you went forward in evolution, the time of the mind. Then it says 20 vinyl worlds. Now, the 20 vinyl worlds, because we don't see what's outside the reality. If we fly in the sky with the world we're in, okay, like a ship, we wouldn't see it because the vinyl is in front of us. The 20 is a dice cube. The 20 can be the dice cube, okay? It's also the world I showed you. One of the reasons it's the dice cube, 5, in order to make everything function, forget about your life. Forget about your life for now. To make everything, whoop, how did I do that? Now I look like a fool. Here's 2 here, and 2 here. You see the shapes? First of all, I want to show you. 1 dice, 2 dice, 3 dice, 4 dice. You see? How much do you see? Because don't forget the crack. That's where the Christ goes, right there, and then it goes, I'm just a clumsy little guy. I'm just a clumsy little guy. Now take a look. Design that on paper. Take a look in between here, this dot, and these 2 dots and these 2 dots. That makes an arrow. 1 arrow pointing that way, 1 arrow pointing that way. If you spread them apart, you put them in 2 corners of Monopoly. You do it to the 4 of them and you live in the center. The other thing we have to remember is that everything has got a number to an angle, even if you're going to see the same number over again. So we're going to show the same number over again. And here's your life in the cage. You see? Everything, you're trapped in the cage. Corner is gone, corner is gone, corner is gone, corner is gone. Take these corners Move these apart and put them in the center. You end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 Magen Davids. Okay? And anyways, you need your own brain in there. You see the way it goes? Now if you do that to the next side, the opposite side of that is all fours. It's all open. You get the center, you get it open in the center, you get open the sides, open it up, and you put your arm up to this dot, and to this dot, and to this dot, and to this dot. Spread your legs out to this dot and this dot. These dots in between here, 7, 8, and 9, 7, 8, and 9, say 1776. This would be the 7 and the 9. This would be the 7 and the 9. This would be the 9 and the 7. This would be the 9 and the 7. Anyways, it would say 1776. So then we went on to 144,000 back ton, okay, which shows me that it's 10 days. A back ton, a back times 2.2 is 22, basically 10 days, okay. Then it says a cat ton is 10 days, is 10 years. Excuse me, it says cat ton is 10 days. It says it can also be 2 years. The next one is this number that came up. 100 is 1010, the spirit of 76, and the 40 of the game. Then I took it away from my numbers, 7286, and I get 4 and 4, Barack Obama, 45 and 4. It means to the love of 44. What does 44 do? 44 brings in 1936. 44 times 44 equals 1936, when they signed the treaty to have World War II. When Einstein, 2 years later, came here to show everybody in the Americas we can know, now we can show competition and make like we're on different sides. And at the end, don't worry, we'll come together at the pass. Little things I want to show, because I tried to clean up my books and I couldn't. One of them was this, 139, 13, 179, 17. The one spirit of the seven queen who holds on to this corner and your birth. All you get is one spirit of creation of the 9 birth. You move into here. You end up at 5 in the middle, 18. She ends up at 5 is 22 and 18, makes 40 to game. It's hard to put certain things away, eh? This one over here, before I put it away, you see the open? You want it? You see this? One circuitry, one world. One circuitry, another world. You see the arm, the way it's holding on? 2 eyes like glasses, holding on to this, where we live. Right? Same thing over here. The center. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. What's in this book? When you take the tic-tac-toe and you move everything over, this is what you end up with. Each one can be a different letter or whatever you wish, but now you have to count as bigger as this got. It went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by 7 stop signs leaves a street and a place to go all the way around. But now, when we double the world, you got to put a street coming back and forth. So what, we're going to just keep growing this until we've got a road and a place for houses and a road to get off, and then we're going to stop. This is the business world. We don't have to go into personal lives. Eight days a week, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. Wednesday, back 1 day, back 2 days, back 3 days, into day 4, 5, into day 6, into day 7. Turn this around and connect them. This is what I was talking about before, the Mayan solstice. Since 0 all the way to this, it says the spirit of 76 in a game of 40. Spirit of 76 in a game of 40, like I've shown you before, okay? Actually, you have to understand it as 4 times. You see, each one is 888 and 888. It doesn't go any higher than that. Everyone gets a birth. Okay? So now you would have 888. Where's that number? You have 888 and 888. So you go 2 times around, 2,000 years, 40 times 50, which is 8 times a full, hold on a second, let me write this down. 40, 2,000 years, 40 is 50 golden years. It's 100 silver anniversaria. 100 silver anniversaria. It is 40. It is 400 times 5, a full twin centennial. Twin centennial, the Twin Towers. 200, the bicentennial, the bi, between, the cent, the 10. The 200 means there were 10 times 613 laws of Moses. 6, 1, and 3. Which way do you want me to start it off? Because at the end, I'll show you buck, ton, and lee. I'll show you anything you want to see. Because when it comes to numbers, I have a problem adding, but I don't have a problem deciding. It's the decryption. So you have 10. 10 times 40 is 400. 10 times 200 is the 2,000 years. Now, what are we looking for? 3. Because we played in the 7 worlds. So now, 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12 for the cycle of the 2 cubes to make up for 2000 and 2012. And to bring it to a 10-10 world, let me slip away my finger. That's right, boys. 1776. 17 is automatic. I showed you on the last one. 17 is automatic. 1, 7, that's their side. Your side is the creation with the birth. That's their side. This is yours. 1776. I can go into this over and over and over again. Oh, that looks on the side. One world's your creation, one world's here. His head's like this, our head's like, one is down, here's the U, and here's the up. Because this one is under the ground and they're using him. He's all fucked up. The question is he really alive? There's 2 of you plus the brain, where they're able to know your number and connect with you doing whatever you do. They transfer it on to the other one. And then they add a little bit to change them to see if they can change you, because you're sort of connected in this world with the other one. I can't be fully connected because there's 2 things not working on me. And I might not make up the last one. Here's the pig. We can do these numbers also. You see this? Everybody's got one of those. Okay, what's next? Whole bunch of pictures, whole bunch of stuff. Open it up. Back to the head. Here's the club. Here's you. You're tied down by the magnets. One here, and then you're here, looking down, but then you're here. You've got somebody pushing you down. You see the wolf above your head? Howling at the moon? It's your brain, because you're tied down by the magnets, the elements. Remember they keep saying the elements all the time? Because they wanted to hide the elements. For those who don't know roulette, this is the roulette board. It does a lot more than I actually did. You see this diamond here? Now you know the value of a diamond, only because it does it on roulette. 3 different colors I chose to do here, I didn't. This row, 147, 147, 147, 147, 147. But it's really 10. Everything jumps up. It jumps up 147. Here is 0. This one would be 0, 4. So it starts on 4. 1, 4, 7. 10 equals 0, level 1. 14 is fourth, equals first. The trains. The 10% of your mind. The monopoly. So we saw that, right? There's a lot you can do with it because of the color separations, and then you can connect just that side. You can just do that side. You can just do the center. You can do the center in this side. You can do the center in this side, or you can skip over. All following what the law says. Follow the rules. Hasbro brought you in a train. Almost looks like the Arabs, eh? Excuse me, the Pharaohs. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Here's your little wolf, little Chinaman. It's a wolf trying to give you information. The spaceship we came on, you can't see up there, you can't see under the ocean. This goes all the way around. Could be the same as this sign. You're inside of here living. When we're all done, goodbye. Next. The menorah, more magnets. The baseball field. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Monopoly. Or is it the baseball field? Ah, what the hell. Can't sit there all day, right? The Mug and David, X and Y, 7557, the year of the egg, 2 years from now. I forgot. Things come before the end. I forgot we started off where it took 2 years. Why? Because your father had to meet your mother, and it takes 1 year for them to meet. And before they get laid, they have to know each other. So if they don't take a little bit of time to know each other during the summer of the time they met, whichever day that was, then all of a sudden, whatever kid you're going to have is going to have knowledge of maybe a little bit of each, but not fully from the heart. So you must tie up with that love before you get laid. Because it's for the child, it's not for you. You have to know the other so your child will know what you did with that sperm. Your thinking goes right to your nuts. And when you're serious, your dick stays down. When you learn, and the more you learn and get hot, you get horny and you have hot sex. And the baby comes out a hot person. In the fiery hells, he sends his mind and he learns and he brings up the crap from below. And then he shits all over and you put it in a diaper and you throw it out. Another thing I wanted to say, will the waters rise from below? Will they empty the oceans? Can they empty the oceans? 115:38, which is the Trinity of the Pork, S&S, Spirit and Soul. Spirit and Soul, Spirit and Soul, Spirit and Soul. That's in all three worlds. Or Spirit and Soul, PP, Spirit and Soul. The one spirit of six of the sixth spirit of one. 7, 7, 2 dice. 2 dice, 1, 6. That's the 38 times 3 times, which makes the pig the totality. Okay? But 38 is the whole. So I can't take 38, which is S and S, the 19th letter and the 19th letter. I have to go S, S, or S, P, S, S, P, S. But in the long count, they tell it to you as M, I, S, S, I, S, S, I, P, P, I. They don't put it in order. Once you see the I's, the 3 I's, you have to separate it. You have a spirit and a soul, that's it. And then on the other side, they have a spirit and a soul, that's it. And on the other side, they have the one spirit of 6, that's it. And on this side, they have the one spirit of 6, that's it. They have the letter M, which is 2 lines of B that makes the love of life, and the 2 lines that lock them together, the letter M. The I is the birth, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I, connecting 2 worlds in the Mississippi between the Cardinals and the Detroit Tigers. Birds and tigers. Forget about the bears, okay? Forget about the bears. I don't think the bears are going after birds. And Chicago's in between. So we're hopping over. We got to be a bunny rabbit. That's the way one works. One jumps over the middle. He gets to the other side, and he says, I'm 1 and 1. Then he jumps again. He says, I'm 1 and 1. I was there, now I'm here. Then he jumps again, I'm 1 and 1 again. And every time he jumps, he's jumping over 8, He's 181 because 8 is the hop he jumps over the space he's in. But in all actuality, the space he jumps is 2 because 8 is jumping all around the world. But he is jumping all around the world when he completes his jump. He makes 4 jumps. He's made perfection. He's made one straight line for himself. He's gone a square. One part, of course. And on the angle he's going is good enough because he knows the way. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Here's the ocean and the beaches and the sand. Here's the other one, how they change the time and the sands and time. Stuff like this. But it's sewn together and it's pressurized underneath the ocean. Everything needs to breathe. In order to breathe, there must be a passage. If there's a straight passage, everything will cave in. So it's a bubble. So it goes from one bubble to the other bubble. How does it go there? Nothing goes like this. Nothing goes like this. It hurts and it's slower. You go and you spin all the way through. You coil spin. And you have a coil that's in the back, that's beginning, that's going even faster. So to make sure it's got the end so it whiplashes you in the mind. The only way to push a river upstream. Did you see that video? I looked at some rivers in France and Europe, and I noticed there was always pumping stations. But when I read about rivers in North America, it seemed like they run the fork in the road. What about the fork in the road? What? Fuck? Did you say fuck? What's a fuck? You want to screw me? Oh, you mean a screw? Oh yeah, screw goes better. If we want to pump something, may as well screw it or coil it. So it winds up. So it almost has its own snake. Pretty cool, eh? Water going up. Also the electrical pull at the other end maybe too. Something like the added effect they add into it. Something we can't actually understand because we're so busy with so many other things. How many things can we do? Raphael. 7286. If you want to buy anything, you got to go to the car dealerships, but the good ones. Or if you want to buy these glasses, you go to a good car dealership, you make sure you look into the sun to see what the sun does. If the sun does nothing, it's no good. If they're too thin, it's no good. If they're too thick, you can't see. If they're yellow, it usually spreads the sunlight out so you can see all the rings of the sun. But when you put on this one, it makes it go around and around. When I play with the two of them, like they did in National Treasure, up and down, it was going all around and around, and all of a sudden the points were going around with this one, and there were points going around with this one. It's like there were two suns spinning around up there. Really weird, my friends, but I love it. Education, man, the knowledge, the intake of knowing feels so good. Raphael, 7286, in the constellation of Pegasus, still tied down inside the stable, one day we will fly free. 44 times 44, 1936, reverse to 36, 63 is 1999, the last day. 63 was the last birth. 63 would make 37 to the year 2000. The Twin Towers goes up. Now that 63 would be 49, 7 by 7. He's 49. He's at the center of the football field. They're matching up. It's going into overtime. The 21st, the bell rings. Are we going to be tied? Or is this going to be over fast? Or do we need to call a timeout? Who's it up to? Remember, you hear the vibrations of the music means you can decrypt. Anytime you hear something, it means you can decrypt. When you see something, it means you can decrypt. When you hear something, you are decrypting. So try a little bit to understand that you always hear, but you see no letters. You always see, but you don't take the picture. You always hear, yet you're not grinding anything in your head. And you understand everything so well. So why are we having so many problems in this world? I'll tell you, because the number one spirit in this world is red money. The red and the black, they confuse you with it. When you're in the red, it's no good. When you're in the red, you didn't have a baby. When you're in the black, It's no good either. But when you're in the white, it means you have cancer. When in the yellow, you're in the sun, and now you have the bad rays. When you're in the orange and black, you're near Halloween about now. And orange is as red as you can get. And this is as far as you can get to the end of the year, because October ended. For me, it ended no more than on the 17th, because on the 18th, you were in this world. The 17th, you had the Queen in this world. You were already connecting. You were gone at 15. October 15th, you were gone. So on the 16th, you were coming through the water hole, and you were the one spirit. So that means October would have had to end on the day you got there, the 16th, and the day you awakened on the 17th. The day you became the angel resident on the 18th. You see, you're still connected to the last world until you hit 29, and then you disconnect, and it's only in your mind. Raphael 7286. 29, it's in your mind. 30, you're created. The first of creation, the 31st, the 3.1415 of pi is your birth, the face of who may come to be Mr. Halloween. What was your desire when you were just born? I want to know when you just came out and you slapped your ass, I want to know what your first thought was. Raphael 7286, separating my 7 and the 6. And in the middle, I have 28, M-A-N, 28, 28 of the moon. 2 by 8, 16 of the one spirit of man, 2 and 8, 10. 16 and 10 is 26 of the 2 world of the 6 man you are in of the 8 heaven. Under the laws of Christ. The way I see it, somehow John must have been the actual Christ. Either it was him or somewhere else in the disciples. And Jesus came to make sure nobody actually knew, so all the scriptures would be written for the new age. So he came here claiming to be who he was. Throw him up on the cross and go home. He only came here to stir up shit and make sure we're going to go down the right path in the future. And then again, we don't know anyways. 7286.